Too few know how far and how wide the battle has raged for the hearts and minds of the children of God. Few know the depths of the hatred for the kingdom of God. The enemy moved far to the west when the battle blazed up. The Huns and their forces entered deep into Christendom. But did any know that enemies had crept in long before? The war was not merely by force of arms, but in words, a controversy of truth and lies. From where had the doctrines of devils come? Alien infiltrators with their alien creeds, discord in the congregations. It seemed the end of the world. A barbarian host pressed on Gaul. The kingdom of God would fall to the Hun. It was thought that the Lord would soon return. Or would Christendom only go on in caves and holes of the rocks? Would psalmody be heard only in the most remote forest glade? Is this what aliens would have us think? Are we free under God? This question echoed in the cloisters, in the basilicas. Basilia had seen the light of the world. There the institutes of John Cassian were still strong. Pelagius whispered in the wind, "We're not all hermits. We're not to shun the world, but to overcome it. We're not to hide in some hole in the ground. Are we not free in our service to God? How does one serve the Almighty at the edge of the earth, or in waste places?" But enemies seemed to overtake the cloisters of Massilia, of Gallia Narbonensis. Rome was reaching out its clutches to choke blessed holy victor. Soon one could not choose one's calling, and if one spoke of freedom under God and Christ, one might end a hermit in a cell as a heretic. Would the true light of Christendom go out? What brought the demise of Pachomius' Cenobite order? How did the poison enter the congregations? How did it sicken the cloisters? We knew they were under attack. The kingdom was under attack. A vigil endured against the heathen, the barbarian. But did the foe pass unseen or in holy guards, in venerable orders? Did ways of falsehood cloak themselves in holy writ? Did devils outdo themselves in their masquerade? The kingdom itself was under threat. Theodosius himself took up the cause of Nicaea. The battle raged up to heaven. The emperor called on the wind. He called on the hermits. He sought their blessing. He called on Lycopolis, the city of wolves. The battle came to the mountains, to the door of Italy. Ad Pyrum, the pass of Piranum. Boreas answered. The north wind favored Theodosius. There he triumphed at the Frigidus, that icy stream, the door of Italy. But was it truly God's favor? Was it fate? Or was it chance? Were Arbogast and his Frankish host deceived? In defeat they beheld a stronger god than their own. Would they give up their gods for another, or a devil? No doubt the poor souls that inhabit that land know its wind and its days. Did Theodosius? Did he pick the place, the time? Or was it his army of Goths that really had saved Theodosius? But for what, or for whom? Surely Alaric pondered. Did he see only betrayal for thousands of his brethren? Did he see a Frankish host flee, one day to return under the spell of Theodosius and John of Lycopolis? Did he see those who could have been united torn by trickery? Surely the hermits became the most formidable enemy of the communal orders of John Cassian. The Cenobites buckled under a ponderous hermit load. How could so many fall to those who were said to wander alone? Should we ask thrice great Hermes? The wind of Theodosius surely blew into Rome itself, even into the very halls of the Senate, and the hermits followed the amber road when Boreas relented. They passed the Savus, the Dravus, and the Danubius. They saw the plains of Pannonia and the knobs of Noricum. Their apostle came to aid Attila's oppressed in the wake of the Huns. Severinus, they said, the apostle of Noricum, saved Fabiana. He gave food to all. He got food over the Hister, the great river. The ice cracked in the middle of winter. It buckled. It splintered. His goings were little known, though few knew when he came and went. All knew he was a great discipline and knowledge, accustomed to want and deprivation. So revered was he that even great men sought his lonely cell in the wilds. Odovacar the Herulian himself sought the blessing of the hermit. when he became king of Italy, as the emperors were finally set down. But who really knew his purposes? Was he there to help the poor, or to show them they were defeated? Would cracked ice and full bellies turn them to the Chi-Rho? But to many in that rugged land, cracked ice was no wonder, and Severinus still needed the aid of John Cassian's communal order. For such humble, solitary souls, the hermits knew much of the mountains. They knew the roads and paths. How were they able to pass through the Hercynian forest so easily, to make it up the Amber Road, or to get to the coasts of Gaul? Making monasteries was only the beginning of their deeds. So many seemed under their spell, so many seemed under Attila's spell. He too was said to command the wind. He had Gezi the stone. Then he stormed into Gaul. But where were the Franks? How little they seemed to defend the land they claimed. Were they afraid of Attila's storms? Would they wait while Goths fought for the Huns and against them? Would Rome hope the Goths would be destroyed? Where was Merovec? But it was the Goths who saved Gaul. On the Mauriac plains, the Catalonian fields. It was the Goths, the ones called heretics, who perhaps saved all of Christendom. The Goths, who saw such death and bore such calumny and slander, who came to the aid of the Romans in the darkest hour. Why weren't they given the rulership over the Christendom that they had saved? Who were the true heretics? And who were the true barbarians that hoped with glee for the demise of true faith and order?